The psychology of the male response to betrayal is rooted in ancient evolutionary survival mechanisms that prioritize genetic certainty above all else. The biological imperative to ensure paternity creates a visceral and unyielding alarm system within the mind that views sexual infidelity as a critical threat. For thousands of years, the silent fear of raising another man's offspring has been encoded into the masculine subconscious as the ultimate evolutionary failure. This deep-seated instinct triggers a specific neural pathway that processes physical betrayal, not just as emotional pain, but as a fundamental loss of status. The modern male brain still carries the heavy weight of ancestral competition, where sharing a mate was synonymous with losing one's place in the social hierarchy. Testosterone drives a possessive territoriality that makes the visualization of a partner with a rival an agonizing torment that is nearly impossible to erase. While emotional connection is vital, the physical act of straying strikes at the core of male identity in a way that bypasses logic and hits the raw nerve. Societal conditioning reinforces this biological rigidness by often painting the forgiveness of infidelity as a sign of weakness rather than a virtue of love. The humiliation factor plays a devastating role, as the knowledge that others might know of the betrayal amplifies the internal shame into a deafening roar. Trust for a man is often built on the foundation of physical exclusivity, and once that specific pillar is shattered, the entire structure tends to collapse. The visualization of the act becomes an intrusive obsession that haunts the waking hours and replays like a relentless film that the mind cannot switch off. Unlike emotional betrayal, which can sometimes be negotiated, the physical breach creates a barrier that feels biologically permanent and completely insurmountable. The sense of ownership over the relationship is violently stripped away, leaving a void that fills rapidly with a protective and cold detachment from the partner. Oxytocin bonds that were formed over years can be severed in an instant when the primal brain takes over and categorizes the partner as a source of danger. The recovery process is often sabotaged by a recurring sense of emasculation that whispers that the only way to regain power is to walk away forever. Forgiveness requires a level of vulnerability that the wounded ego refuses to allow as it builds fortress walls to prevent the knife from twisting any deeper. The haunting question of comparison plagues the mind as the betrayed man wonders what the rival possessed that was worth destroying a life built together. Silence becomes a weapon and a shield, as the inability to articulate the depth of the primal injury creates a chasm that no amount of apology can bridge. The finality of the decision often comes from a place of self-preservation, where the heart hardens not out of hatred, but out of a desperate need to survive.